Okay, I am making this video the Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. I think it's, let's see, what day is it? February. It is February 5th today. I've got yesterday's paper here, but anyway, I just want to talk about the Super Bowl and some issues that have come up because of it. And I am, even though we're number 11, Carson Wentz, even though I have this, with stitched on lettering and not painted on, like a lot of jerseys. I paid $120 for this, and in spite of that, I was going for the Patriots yesterday. I'm a huge Vikings fan. And I cheered for the Patriots yesterday because the Eagles fans are despicable. They are disgusting, they're despicable, they are terrible. Then the players and coaches on the Philadelphia Eagles need to do something about it. They need to say something about it. They need to tell the fans that are acting like, spoiled children who are acting terribly, doing disgusting things like throw full beer cans at fans of the other team they're playing, and beer bottles as well too, and doing a lot of other stuff there's no place, okay? No place in any sports for stuff like that, okay? You do not deserve to get abused just because you are at a game and cheering for the team that the home team is playing, okay? You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to be abused because of that, okay? I mean, I went to when the Vikings played the Bears, the last game of the year. I was at the game. The Bears fans were treated with respect. I didn't see any of anything. I didn't hear, I think I might have heard someone giving some Bears fans a hard time, but other than that, that's all they had to go through. Did they have beer bottles or beer cans thrown at them that were full? No. Did they get abused? No. Did they get punched? No. I've got a friend who is I've got a friend on Facebook she's a friend on a Vikings fan Facebook group, and she went to the game for the Vikings-Eagles game, and after the Vikings scored the first touchdown, the guy next to her punched her in the back of the head. I mean, what's the purpose of that? All because he couldn't handle them scoring a touchdown. His little ego was bruised and hurt so much that he had to take out his frustration by punching her in the back of the head. I mean, what kind of a fan is that? Come on, Eagle coaches and players, say something. If you don't say something, it's like you are condoning it. And it's not as if the Vikings game is the first time they've ever acted like animals. You know, they've been known for this, and you haven't done anything. You've done nothing to stop this from happening. You know, and for all of you who think that it's not their problem, well, yes, it is their problem because the people they hire, the security agencies and the Philadelphia police won't do anything. So it is the team's responsibility to do something to stop this. You know, they should chew out the chief of police for not having his cops do their jobs because they aren't doing their jobs. You know, they report things to them and they just whatever. They don't do anything about it. You know, some people get arrested, but those are for the worst things. That's when you assault a cop, you know, then you get arrested. Or you punch a police horse, which is what one guy did, you know, and so he got arrested. Okay. You know, those will get you arrested. You know, doing other things, you know, assaulting somebody, throwing beer cans and bottles at them, at other fans, will not get you arrested. You know, I mean, you know, if the Vikings had won, I hate to think what would have happened. Holy crap. I would have hate to think of what would have happened to my friends on Facebook who went to the game. You know, holy crap, they would have been in serious trouble if they would have. Their life might have been in jeopardy if the Vikings had won. You know. So that's the only good thing about them losing is that they didn't, you know, they didn't have their life threatened. Well, not threatened, but they didn't have the possibility of being killed just because the Viking, you know, if the Vikings had won, you know. But it is the coaches and the players' responsibility to do something about this. And I hear people saying, oh no, it's not their responsibility. Yes, it is, because they are part of the organization. And it is the organization's responsibility to prevent people, you know, fans of the other opposing team who they are playing from getting assaulted and abused. Okay? It is the team's responsibility to prevent that from happening. When the police and the security companies they hire to do that or don't do their job, then ultimately it is the team's responsibility to make sure that that happens. Okay? You know, I mean, you know, for the players and coaches, for the Eagles, the leaders, you need to do something. You can't just sit back and go, oh no, it's somebody else's problem. No, it's your problem. It's your problem. You're part of the team. You're part of the organization. You know, if, you know, so it's your job to do something. Okay? If you can't stand up and condemn the behavior of those fans, they're acting like barbarians. Well, no, I shouldn't say. They're acting like animals, you know, then I'm sorry, I can't support, you know, I couldn't support the Eagles yesterday. No way. There's no way I will ever support the Eagles if they cannot, if the players and coaches can't stand up and condemn that behavior. Okay? If the Vikings, the team I love, if they said the same thing, if they condemned that kind of behavior, I would have no problem with that at all. No problem. That's fine with me because you're not talking to me. Because I don't do that. And nobody I know would do that. Okay? If the Vikings condemn that kind of behavior, that's okay with me. That's okay with me because I don't do that. And I never would do that. I could have Viking season tickets from now until I die, and I would never do some of the things that happened to Viking fans at the Eagles game 2 weeks ago. You know, I might give the fan of some other team a hard time, but that would be it. That would be it. In fact, I sat next to Bears fans. You know, they were from the Twin Cities, but they were from Chicago and were working and living in the Twin Cities area. But they were still Bears fans. That was fine with me. I didn't say anything bad to them about the Bears. Not one word. That was fun, you know. Hey, they could be Bears fans. I don't care. That's fine with me. They can cheer for the Bears all they want during the game. That's fine. You know. But Eagles fans, they can't handle it. Why? Why can't the players and coaches for the Eagles stand up and say this kind of behavior is wrong? Draw a line between what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. Throwing beer cans and full beer cans and beer bottles is not acceptable. Okay? Giving somebody a hard time about that, you know, is okay. You know, tell them to get the F out of here. You know, that not acceptable. Not acceptable either. You know, get the F out of here. Get the U effing, you know, that's not okay. Not okay. You know, if that's the way it is at other stadiums, well, then they need to do something about that. That's not okay either. You know, I would never say that to a fan of the team the Vikings are playing at home. Never. You know, because I have more respect for them and their right to cheer for somebody different than I do than ever, you know, the Eagles fans do. They don't have any respect for anybody who cheers for the team that's playing the Eagles. You know, and that's wrong. That is totally wrong and totally unacceptable. You know, that is totally unacceptable to not have that tolerance and not have that respect. You know, if they want any respect, if Eagle fans want any respect at all, they've got to give some respect. You know, if the Vikings played at the Eagles and the Viking Stadium, how would they like some of the things that they did to Viking fans? How would they like that? How would they like it if Minnesotans had done that to them, you know, before yesterday's game? You know, I mean, would they appreciate having people throw full beer cans and beer bottles at them before yesterday's game, before the Super Bowl? Would they appreciate that? I don't think so. I think they would have been pissed off. Rightfully so. But then again, why do they think it's okay to do that to other fans? You know? That's what I'd like to know. And I want to know when the coaches and players are going to say something. You know? Are going to stand up and say something against the fans. You know? If you're a true fan, if they're true fans, they're going to be okay with that. They're going to be either okay with you saying that, or they're going to change their behavior. One or the other. If they refuse to change their behavior, they should lose their season tickets or their ticket to that game. You could say, you're not getting into the game. You're losing your tickets. You're losing your ticket to the game. You know, and give them back their money. Yeah, you lose your money to the game, but at least you don't have somebody in the stadium who's going to misbehave and act like a complete animal, you know, which would be it's much better if they lose their ticket and you lose the money from them going to the game than to have them be at the game and act like a complete animal and a complete idiot, you know. So anyway, so the choice is up to you, fans and coaches of Philadelphia Eagles. What are you going to do? You going to say something, or are you just going to, it's not our fault, you know? Well, if you don't say something or do something, the NFL should. But Roger Goodell is the commissioner, so I know that ain't going to happen. I know that's not going to happen because he is such an idiot, too, that he supports crap like this. You know? I've got friends who boycott the NFL. And I can see why. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for doing that. I really don't. But I love football. I love watching the NFL. I love watching games. And I think there are other ways of making your point without being a piece of crap and being a complete scumbag like a lot of people are. You know, I mean, the players can make their point too when protesting different things. You know, they could do the same thing in other ways. But they don't. They have to act like total morons. You know? And anyway, so what's it gonna be? You know? Are you guys gonna say something and do something about the fans? Or not? You know, I challenge you to be men. You know, a man of God would stand up and say, look, this isn't right. A man of God would tell the fans that if you have to act like this, if you have to behave like this, you know, and do the kinds of things that are inappropriate, that are wrong, they're disgusting, then we don't want you as fans. We don't want you as fans. You know? Act like a man. Act like you got a spine for a change, you know, and say something like that to those fans, you know, because that's what they deserve. They deserve to be verbally kicked in the butt, you know. Well, yeah. They deserve to get chewed out for what they're doing, you know. All you have to do is watch the video from after they won the game, after you won the game, to see how a lot of fans are behaving. Or not. Or like not. But their behavior is disgusting. It is despicable. Do something about it. Say something about it. You know? Don't just go along and like, oh, we can't do anything about it, not our fault. Yeah, if you don't say something or do something about it to stop it, then you're condoning it, okay? You are condoning it, and you are responsible for it if you don't do something to stop it, to keep it from happening, you know. I'm always going to be a Vikings fan. They could say that to Viking fans. I'd be okay with it. Why? Because I don't do that. If they've got a problem with that, then they are guilty of that. They are either guilty of it or they support that kind of behavior. And they should lose their tickets if they do that. If they do that, they should lose their tickets, period. End of story. If they've got season tickets, gone. 10 years is as soon as you can get them, be able to get them back. You know, if they go to games all the time, that's it. Forget it. You can't. We don't want you as a fan. If you can't behave like an adult and accept somebody cheering for the other team other than the Eagles, if you can't accept that, don't come to the games. Don't come to the games. Cheers from home, you know, cheers from home or sports bar, wherever you can, but don't come to the game. Don't buy tickets and don't go to the games. You know, if you can't act like an adult, then stay at home or stay at a sports bar and watch the game there. Because you'll do something that is wrong and despicable and disgusting and not what an adult would do. Okay? Okay, I am. See you later.